fucking gave lectures for constantly just emailed me.
Really?
Was like, hey,
Sven or
what, Sven Bielin
yeah.
was like, hey, what have you been up to? Like, I want to hang out. Can we come down to the farm and hang out?
Dude, that's awesome.
And he was
Is
the
he still
one.
at Penn State?
Yeah, he's the director of like the space program there now.
Really?
Like, yeah, any of the space stuff. So he was the one who wrote me the letter to the fucking SpeechCom people. You know, SpeechCom was the only class I didn't have.
Right.
And he wrote a letter to them saying, this guy gives lectures once a week, like, that are half an hour long, and then goes around and teaches to kids. Like, he does not need to learn how to speak publicly. He already knows how to do it.
Right.
And they didn't reject it until fucking January of that year. Which if they would have at least rejected it by, like, October, November, I could have signed up for SpeechCom and just taken the fucking class. And I was just so furious about it. Honestly, that's probably part of the reason why I wanted to hitchhike, because I was disgusted with school. I was disgusted with, like, the aerospace industry. For whatever reason, I did not realize going into aerospace that the aerospace industry was all defense. You know, so, somehow I had the idea
that was exploration and.
Well, and this was before SpaceX. So SpaceX now has actually started doing space exploration again. The only thing cool that was happening at the time, and this happened when I was at Boeing, was the Spaceship One went up.
Right.
You know, so Virgin Galactic was starting.
I remember that.
So like these private space industries were starting that were not Lockheed Martin, were not Boeing and Raytheon and all the freaking warmongering companies that are out there. So I had that. Then I was also living with you, drinking a case of Miller High Life every Friday night, talking about
Every Friday night.
every Friday and Saturday and Thursday.
Yeah, how about Thursday,
Wednesday.
Friday, Saturday, Wednesday, every other Wednesday.
and subscribing to Z Magazine.
Yeah.
And reading every single thing that Michael Albert, Noam Chomsky.
Dude, we would sit there and just get drunk and read Z Magazine.
Seriously,
argue
talk
and
about,
scream at people.
Yeah, argue with each other, argue with people outside.
We get into fights like
physical fights.
Yeah, over like politics.
I would throw cups at you.
Yeah.
You would shit with the door open, and I would throw shit at you while you were taking dumps. Yeah, so I had talked to Sven, and I told him I was like I don't know what to do. I think I'm gonna go to grad school for, some kind of. I think I wanted to go to school for anthropology. That's what I was trying to do, and so I went to Europe. I backpacked. I did because I got a free ticket to Europe through Sven.
Right.
So I was in Europe for like 3 weeks. And I just like traveled around, did whatever, went to a bunch of places, saw Eric over there, went to Eric's where he was studying abroad, and then came back and I worked for Han's dad. So I did construction for like 3-4 months, and the whole time I was reading, like, I read the whole Marx Engels reader, the freaking socialist, like the Communist Manifesto,
Electrochloid acid test.
Yeah, the Motorcycle Diaries.
Yeah.
And then. That at some point.
Wait, Motorcycle Diaries is Che Guevara.
Che Guevara, yeah, and I read that whole Che. Actually, I had already read the Che Guevara biography, like 2003.
Yeah, and I was reading that at the time you were reading the diaries.
Yeah, and at some point in that spring, of 2005 though, we were in one of our drunken conversations. I had decided that I couldn't stand our political system, our socio-political system, and our culture, and that the only way to remove myself from it was to produce my own energy and food. And so I was convinced that I wanted to start farming, but like the extent of what I knew about producing food was like mom-grown tomatoes in the garden. And so...
And like the Hefners.
Yeah, and the Hefners, but I didn't really work with them that much. You worked over there more than I did.
Yeah, but I remember too, like... A lot of it had to do. I remember you saying you wanted to try and start a commune.
Right. Yeah. I don't think I call it a commune though.
No, because everybody's like, "Oh, commune."
Intentional community.
Yeah, it was an intentional community, and we were gonna start it and like have a school.
It's like Hafer, Tim Hahn. These guys are interested in it.
And that was like the first idea, and then
Drosky.
Yeah. Then I remember you being like, "Dude, I think I'm gonna hitchhike."
Yeah.
And I was like, "No, you shouldn't do that." And then, like, you sent me a couple articles and stuff, and I was like...
What did I send you? About
Digi-Hitch.
Oh, Digi-Hitch. That's how I met Joseph, Richard Joseph.
Richard Joseph.
I read his book then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I read Richard Joseph's book, which was about him traveling, and it just about how traveling changes you.
Dude, I just remember you came up and you were like, "Let's party." It was like a Friday.
It's in the summer.
No, it was later. It was like right into the fall.
Well, I left in September.
Yeah.
So it was in September.
We partied Friday, Saturday. Sunday you drove to Shippensburg.
Han drove me back.
Yeah, and you left.
No, I drove with Anna. Anna drove me there.
And then you left.
Yeah.
You left from Shippensburg.
Well, so I met Anna though 3 weeks before I left.
Yeah.
And so when we were up there, remember Jim came over for the first time. So
Yeah.
so we had been talking about this
Stratego.
stuff.
Remember that was the night we played Stratego.
Drinking Stratego, and he fell down the stairs.
Yeah.
So I had decided that summer while I was working that any money that I saved I was just gonna like blow it while I was hitchhiking. But I wasn't gonna stay in places. I wasn't gonna like pay for bus tickets or anything like that. And I just wanted to use travel as like a way for like self improvement. You know,
Right.
as some way for figuring out what the hell I wanted to do because I was, you know, I feel like we had a lot of knowledge, but had no fucking direction whatsoever.
No direction or experience.
No experience. I mean,
Yeah.
think about people who grow up actually having to provide for themselves.
Yeah.
You know, we grow up so comfortable. We grow up so easy. You know, even in homes where, you know, like us, where you had to.
Dude, our
we got
parents couldn't
jobs.
pay their bills either.
Right. Like I got a job when I was 12, so I could buy shit.
Yeah.
Even that is so fucking easy compared to what 95% of the world has to do.
Yeah.
You know, and so I felt like I wanted to experience something that was going to be challenging to me, put me in an uncomfortable place because I felt like the place where I learned the most was when I was really uncomfortable
And vulnerable.
Yeah. Vulnerable, right? Exactly. So yeah, so I left from State College. Anna drove me down to Shippensburg, dropped me off there, and I literally like Han drove me out on 81, and I had a sign. The first ride I got had a sign that just said like Southwest, I think. And I literally sat on the highway reading a book because I had no fucking clue what to do.
Yeah.
And the first ride I got was that crazy dude from Maine who grew his own weed, and he passed me a joint in the first 5 minutes. And so like 5 minutes into my first hitchhiking ride.
Wait, you smoked marijuana?
Yeah, right. 5 minutes into my first hitchhiking ride, this guy smokes me up, and we're sitting there, and he starts talking to me about being a prospector. Fucking gold prospector, and he's like, you know, and like, you know me, I'm like, no way, oh cool, man, and I'm like talking to him, and he's like, yeah, reach in the back there's a book on prospecting. So I'm like, I reach back and I'm opening this book, and there's literally a book compiled by like these crazy fucks in America about how there's like
Authored by Timothy McVeigh.
yeah, right, how if you go to Albany, New York, and you go to the third oak tree up from this cemetery
Holy
here,
shit.
it's rumored that gold was buried there by this pirate in like 1824. And these people go out and do it. So like, you know, so we're driving down 81, and we're like halfway through Virginia, and he's freaking me out because he keeps like talking about this shit, and like, he smoked up again, and I was like, nah, I'm good, man. And I got out of the gas station, and I was like, shit, I should get out of here. This is bad. I should get out of here. And of course, I had so many rides that were way worse than him after that. But then I got back in, and we kept going, and he pulls out a medicine bottle, and he's like, hey, check this out. And he like, and I just didn't even look at it. I was like, oh shit, like what the hell is he gonna give me now? And he like pops it open, and he pours things into his hand, and he goes, here. I was like, no, man, I'm good. And he goes, just fucking look at it. And he like yelled at me, and I just was like, and I looked over, and he had 2 little gold nuggets in his hand. It was 2 little gold nuggets that he found prospecting.
Holy
dredging in the river, like literally like pan sifting. And I was like, what the fuck? I was like, are you kidding me? I just looked at it. I was like, how much is this shit worth? He's like, that one's probably like $750. The other one's probably like $1,200. And I was like, Jesus Christ, dude, these little gold nuggets, seriously? And he's like, yeah. And so that was like the very first guy who I hitched a ride with. And everybody else was equally as crazy.
Yeah.
But like also, you know, cool. Not psycho like you would think of. And I mean, I hitchhiked with that one homeless kid who told me some crazy stories. But he spent his whole life hitchhiking.
Right.
So he ran into some really messed up people. But I feel like the biggest thing for me was that it was, you know, at the time, in a time in my life where I wanted.
You met a guy that drove the further bus.
Yeah, that guy Junior.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had the most brutal teeth in the world. Well, like
Worse
I
than
mean,
mine?
huh? Yeah, worse than yours. Way worse than yours. That homeless kid recognized him. He's like, "Yo, I've seen his grill before."
Yeah, I remember you said that.
No, I think though that like, for me the especially the American portion of it. So because hitchhiking in America was totally different than hitchhiking in Mexico.
Yeah.
And like the hitchhiking American portion of it was
You get picked up by more weirdos in the U.S.
you get picked up by more weirdos, but you also realize like, man, everybody's the same everywhere. Like these people might be a little bit crazy, but I totally understood why that guy Junior, who was being like sought by federal police for the last 30 years, why he lived his life the way he did. You know, why this crazy fucker from Maine who grew his own weed, you know, like lived the way he did. You know, why this woman who picked me up, who passed me twice on the highway and then came back around and she was like, pulled over and was like, if I give you a ride, you're not going to kill me, right? And I was like, I won't kill you if you don't kill me.
Yeah.
You know, like, she dropped me off somewhere. I slept in the woods. She came back the next morning and gave me a ride, like, west of Asheville. So she took me probably like 300 miles west on, what was that, 40? I think 40 down there.
Yeah, it is 40.
But like all these people, you're just like, man, they're just trying to figure shit out. Like nobody has it together. And I feel like I needed to understand that at that point, and also.
Yeah, because when you're younger, you think everybody's got it figured out.
Dude, you think you're